Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good
Good
evening, wherever you're
evening.
watching from.
Yes.
You're welcome to Deliwa Talks Real. My name is Uwa,
I'm Dele.
and together we make Deliwa.
That's why we call it Deliwa Talks
Yes,
Real.
yes,
Because
yes.
we always like to keep things real.
Yes, and if you've been following us for some time, or if you watched any of our previous videos, you know that our passion in this channel, and generally as what we do, is to help make your relationship more blissful, better, and more enjoyable. And we thought that what 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 better way to start the year by alerting you as esteemed couples, viewers, and subscribers, the things that would make could make couples grow apart. We recognize that the world economy is not as it should be. A lot of people are struggling financially, socially, and in so many ways, and that impacts on relationship. But guess what? It doesn't have to, and that's one of the reasons that we thought that we could start this year by bringing to you some of the reasons why couples grow apart, and then bring you solutions so that you don't allow your relationship to grow apart. Don't grow apart. Don't grow apart. Come back. I'm not going to allow you to grow apart. Okay?
We are in
together, forever,
forever.
together, forever. Dun, 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 dun. But let's not get too distracted. Okay. So, back to what we're saying. So we feel that it would be nice to kind of showcase these reasons why couples grow apart, so that when you know them, you're able to recognize them and you're able to deal with them effectively from the beginning before it turns into a monster in your relationship. And we really want your relationship to blossom and be enjoyable this year. So the first episode we just did an introduction where we talked about reasons why couples go apart and consequences, and and all that. And today we are focusing on one of the reasons why couples grow apart, and we're going to also take the solution. And today we're focusing on unresolved conflict. We know that there's no relationship that there is no conflict. I mean, guys, let's be realistic. We all have issues. We quarrel, we disagree. But the key is, when you disagree, you have to resolve those conflicts.
It has to be resolved.
It has to be resolved.
Yeah.
So, but there are situations in relationship where if they are not resolved, then it causes couples to begin to grow apart. Yeah. And so that's what we are going to focus on today. It's good to recognize the problem, but it's better to also bring the solution.
It's better.
Yes. So today we're talking about unresolved conflict and how to war against it so that you don't grow up, so it doesn't cause you to grow apart in your relationship. So we've listed some very practical solutions here that will briefly what am I saying? I said briefly run through. We'll briefly run through. And I'm just going to allow Dele to start. I know the first one here is communication. I mean, you can't resolve issues without communication, but I'm going to leave him to talk about that.
Communication is big. Anytime, any day. So the whole idea here is that one of the reasons why people grow apart is unresolved issues or conflict that we just highlighted. But the truth is, if you don't talk about it, then there's no how the issues will be resolved.
Exactly.
And if issues are not resolved, there's no how people will not drift apart. And that's why communication happens to top the list here. And we want to talk about
Almighty communication.
Almighty communication. We've always been saying it. For people who have listened to us quite a number of times, you understand that we don't joke when we talk about communication. Research showed that a relationship or marriage is actually about 75% of that. It's even 85%, although you have different statistics saying 80, 85, 75, but however it's
a huge chunk.
It's a huge chunk. So if that's the case, then we cannot run away from the fact that we have to sit down and talk about it. Open and honest communication. I should be able to trust your judgment. I should trust that your intention for me is good. And you should also be able to trust me that I have good intention about you. So when I'm talking about something that I don't like, then we should be able to be open in that communication.
And it means that, I agree. So we need to be able to express our feelings openly, and see each other, try to see each other's perspective.
Exactly.
Because as human beings, you can never see things, the same way.
We're different.
Yeah.
We're different.
So in resolving issues, so the first thing I'm saying is, let there be open and honest communication.
Yeah.
Let there be an open mind.
Yeah.
Try to see things from the other person's perspective,
Yeah.
okay? And don't communicate your thoughts or your feelings in a confrontational manner. It will not help.
Because I think the what, the where, the how, the need, it's a whole lot.
Yeah.
And it plays a whole lot. And is it the non-verbal cues we want to talk about? So there's a whole lot of things surrounding communication that you want to really master and ensure that it takes place, so that those unresolved issues are actually dealt with.
Resolved.
Yes,
because they end up, causing to grab at.
Yep.
And the other thing we would like to, talk about is identify the core issues, okay? Sometimes when we have unresolved issues and we then make an attempt to resolve them, we don't focus on the core issues. We focus on the person. Oh, you did this. I mean, let's focus on what are the core issues, okay? Yeah. Take the time to identify exactly and the underlying causes of those unresolved issues, okay? Pinpoint the root cause. Do like a root cause analysis, and then together identify solutions. Okay, the next one is,
even before the next one, I want to say that when you do something that I don't like, or I do something that you don't like, unconsciously there's a sense in which I can look at it that I will judge her together with the issue without separating issues from person. So you see a situation where in a relationship, people judge the person together with the issue. They don't have the ability to separate issues from persons. The fact that your partner did this does not make the partner bad. It's just what the partner did that you don't like. So if you're able to separate your partner, somebody you loved, and therefore if you're able to separate it and talk about the real issues, then it will go a long way in helping. And we always will say you need to seek a professional help. If it gets to that point where both parties, you can't come to a common ground where you will agree,
or come to resolution,
or come to resolution and you can agree, instead of allowing it to fester and at the end of the day end up becoming more complicated and resulting into you guys growing apart, then it's good that you seek professional help. And that's why we are here also.
And then also part of resolving issues, so you don't grow apart, is learn to compromise and find middle ground. It's not every time that things will always go one person's way. At times, marriage is give and take, relationship is give and take. Okay, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because I remember past experience. See, guys, ladies, you cannot always win, and it's not about winning in the real sense. It's about compromising your position for the ultimate good of the relationship. So we are not compromised to say sometimes you might not even be in the wrong, but you have to see the bigger picture. If the communication is not heading anywhere and you see that things are getting worse, then you might want to step back and allow it to just go and let the issues come down. Then you can look for another opportune time.
This is my point that you have taken over now.
No, I'm just adding to it.
Are you there? You asking to help me?
I'm just adding to it. Sorry.
But what we are saying is, learn to compromise and find middle ground. Consider each other's needs, okay? And then the next one is, forgiveness and letting go.
So you can go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Thank you. I'll go ahead. So now you've compromised. It's two parts of my point, and so I'm taking part of your
So I've yielded ground for her now.
Exactly.
Let's just go ahead.
So, but on a more serious note, learn to forgive, okay? It helps a lot. Forgive, let issues go. So I'm just running through the points again. We are saying that things that make couples grow apart is unresolved issues. And to help you tackle unresolved issues is communication, talk about them, identify the core issues, separate the person from the issues, seek professional help if you think you're not able to resolve things on your own, compromise and find middle ground, forgive and let go. Let love always win, okay? So we hope that these points would really help.
Yeah, and I think through all this, as you go through it, the last point I would like to mention is that always reevaluate priorities and expectations. You are going to evolve. The two of you are going to evolve, so you have to reevaluate and reevaluate your priorities and expectations, so that when you are changing over time in terms of exposure, in terms of intellect, then you need to reevaluate and readjust, so that you're able to come together and you're able to flow together. So you don't want to grow apart, you want to grow together.
So we hope that with these points, this will help you to resolve conflicts in your relationship. Conflict necessarily is not a bad thing.
No,
it's when they go unresolved and you allow them to fester and begin to cause disintegration in the relationship. That's when it becomes cause for concern. So don't forget all that we've said today. We thank you very much for joining us. Please look out for the next episode.
This part 2.
This is part 2. The next one we're talking about another reason why couples grow apart, and also talking about the solutions. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Bye.
Bye.